Mike's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 4:43.697. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Megasaurus 55 is getting to grips with it. The SMP Racing BR03 was developed by BR Engineering, a Russian team consisting of 100% Russian technical specialists. This is a new racing sport prototype. The transmission is of foreign production. However, almost all other components and joints were manufactured in Russia. The car is certified by the Russian Automotive Federation to perform in national competitions in Russia. In this practice session, Mike posted a 1:36.617 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:35.986. With just 161 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Mike has a best lap time of 1:35.778. These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
And away goes Eddie G, charging down Coca-Cola corner like a bull at a gate. This lap's where they set the tone for the session.
Indeed, Rob. It's about laying down a marker, seeing how the car responds when they dial everything up to 11. They're testing the waters, but also setting their own benchmarks.
Alright, Mike has put down a 1:37.322. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that. The SMP Racing BR03 was developed by BR Engineering, a Russian team consisting of 100% Russian technical specialists. This is a new racing sport prototype. The transmission is of foreign production. However, almost all other components and joints were manufactured in Russia. The car is certified by the Russian Automotive Federation to perform in national competitions in Russia.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Sunoiler's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 137.183. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Mike's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 135.461. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Smells like wheeze on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Here we go, folks. The atmosphere is electric as the drivers prepare to unleash their machines on the track at Fuji Speedway GP for the qualifying session.
We're about to witness some serious heart as they battle it out for a chance at the front of the starting grid.
Smells like wheeze on their outlap.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Welcome to Fuji Speedway GP, one of the most iconic circuits in Japan. The drivers are revving their engines and ready to take on this incredible challenge. Megasaurus 55 will lead the way from pole position.
But they can't afford to get complacent. They will have a target on their back now.
Our second place starter, Eddie G, is poised to make a move towards the front.
Could we see a podium result from Eddie G?
Securing the third place is Smells Like We. Roel Postma will begin the race from the fourth spot on the starting grid.
I'm sure Roel Postma will be expecting to bring home solid points from here.
Sunoiler is placed in fifth.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
From the middle of the pack, we have Mike O'Hagan in sixth place on the starting grid.
They'll be looking for a clean race.
The green signals the start of a rip snorter of a race. As they jockey about, it's all about not chucking a wobbly under pressure.
Avoiding contact while trying to gain position is essential. The first lap is often where we see incidents that can change the course of the race.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race.
Like we say in North Carolina, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe Megasaurus 55 is keeping their pace steady for now, waiting for the right time to make a splash.
You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Sunoiler's doing. Holding on to 5, maybe they've got a trick or two up their sleeve for later.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Sunoiler's sitting right there at 5, just watching the field unfold.
This is going to be one hell of a race, I can already feel it.
A good old-fashioned southern standoff, that's what Megasaurus 55's doing. Holding their ground, and sometimes that's the best strategy in the early laps.
Stone the crows. Mike's taken off like a mad kookaburra. Reckon the others are wondering where that bolt came from.
I tell ya, that's the kind of move that'll turn heads. Let's hope they don't bite off more than they can chew. I'll tell ya, Mike O'Hagan came out swinging like a barn door in a tornado. But will they have the grit to keep it up?
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Eddie G, not giving them any room to relax. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Megasaurus 55 gaining places and Eddie G losing them.
Yes, but Megasaurus 55 can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
Crikey, that overtake by Megasaurus 55 was smoother than a coldie on a hot summer day.
Well, from what I've seen on the oval tracks, that's how the big leagues play. But I gotta admit, this is next level.
It's going to be tough. Megasaurus 55 is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Eddie G to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position.
Just like in the old school days of racing, it's not just about speed, it's about the strategy, the mind games. Megasaurus 55's got that game face on.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. O'Hagan's inching ever closer to Sunoiler. Things are getting spicy as Eddie G is breathing down Megasaurus 55's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
Sweet Caroline, Eddie's giving Megasaurus 55 a hard time. Can't wait to see what happens when they hit Dunlop Corner.
It's pedal to the metal for Eddie G, while Megasaurus 55's still flipping through the radio channels.
If this were chess, I'd say Eddie G just put Megasaurus 55 in check. Brilliant move.
I've been going over some historical stats, and the lap records at Fuji Speedway GP have been shattered so many times.
It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of motorsport. What was once considered fast becomes the norm, and drivers and engineers are always pushing the envelope.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Mike trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Roll Postma. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Mike O'Hagan close in enough to mount a challenge?
It's going to be tough for Mike, as Roel Postma seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Mike pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Oh, the chase is on. Sunoiler's breathing down the neck of Smells Like Wheat. Megasaurus 55's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
Exactly. Megasaurus 55's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
The crowd is on its feet as Sunoiler chases down Smells Like Wheat through Panasonic Corner.
This is what separates the good from the great. The ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
An impressive showing from Sunoiler, who has gained positions and left Smells Like Wheat in the dust.
This race is heating up faster than a Barbie in summer. Sunoiler's got that winning glint.
Smells like we wants to close that gap with Sunoiler.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Oh, smells like we went off track? I know the feeling, just like my diet every weekend. Smells like we is running second. They are trying to catch Sunoiler. Did you hear about the race car driver who got a parking ticket? He said it was fine with him.
Oh, that one's got some mileage. You know, in Carolina, we say...
Wait, blimey, Megasaurus 55 veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex. I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Smells Like We and Sunoiler. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
Well, butter my biscuit. With a gap just shy of a second, Smells Like We's car is dialed in. He's looking to reel Sunoiler in on the straights of Fuji Speedway GP.
The best laid plans of mice and men, ha, but it's certainly not going to plan for Smells Like We right now as they're struggling to keep up with Sunoiler. Megasaurus 55 so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. Tire degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Megasaurus 55's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Eddie G, aren't they? It's a brilliant day for racing here at Fuji Speedway GP. I'm really enjoying this.
This race is truly epic. What a treat to be sat here witnessing this spectacle.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Smells Like We trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Sunoiler. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Smells Like We's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Sunoiler. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
That's right, Megasaurus 55 is determined to pass Eddie G and secure a higher position.
Megasaurus 55 seems to be losing the plot with Eddie G. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Dunlop Corner and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. The battle for two is heating up as Roel Postma tries to catch Smells Like We in P2.
It's a game of strategy now as Roel Postma hunts down Smells Like We. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Roel Postma has just managed to set their fastest lap of the race so far with a lap time of 1 minute. This is edge of the seat stuff. Megasaurus 55 is relentlessly hunting down Eddie G. Who'll blink first? Struth, Megasaurus 55's not here to muck about. The gap to Eddie G is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.5 seconds. You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tires, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
Sunoiler could be looking for a way up the inside of Roel Postma.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
Ripper of a move. Sunoiler's not just in the race, they're owning it. G'day, second.
Man, if racing was a barbecue, Sunoiler just threw down the spiciest ribs. Up to second and sizzling.
What a move. Sunoiler has moved up to first. Roll Postma is looking to take advantage of that error as they get in range of Smells Like We. That's gonna give them the pull they need to mount a challenge very soon.
Roel Postma is pushing harder than I did at the buffet last night. Hope Smells Like We has a bit more restraint than I did.
A couple car lengths might not sound like much, but when you've got Roll Postma breathing down your neck, it feels like a bloody eternity. Oh, it seems Hal that Smells Like We has seen their lead over Roll Postma shrink to 0.3 seconds. Someone should tell Smells Like We this ain't a Sunday drive. Roll Postma's tearing up the track. In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
Oi, Smells Like We, ever tried tailgating at a barbie? Cos Roll Postma's grill is getting a good look now. Try the snags while you're at it. A commanding performance from Roll Postma, who has increased their lead over Smells Like We, putting him firmly in their rearview mirrors. Hal, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Looks like Mike's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Mike in fourth determined to catch up. But we know Smells Like We isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Mike is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Here's the thing about racing, sometimes it's not just about speed. It's about pressure, mind games, and this, right here, is a masterclass from Roll Postma. Sticking so close to the leader, making him constantly aware of the imminent threat.
Spot on. It's like a shark circling its prey. The leader knows it, we know it, and by the looks of it, Roel Postma is ready for the kill.
Look at this. Mike is practically drafting off Smells Like We. With the gap this small, hairpin is going to be a real test.
The chase between Mike and Smells Like We is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
A great pass for Mike as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Smells Like We has lost ground.
You see, it's moments like these that separate the champs from the chumps. And Mike O'Hagan's looking every bit the champ today.
Reminds me of two wombats fighting for the best burrow. Close, intense, and unpredictable.
Oh, this is gripping. With every lap, Roel Postma's drawing closer to that lead spot. They're both battling tire to tire.
If I were the leader, I'd be checking my mirrors every blink of an eye. The gap between Roll Postma and Sunoiler is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.5 seconds. Let's talk about tire degradation, Hal. How does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Smells like Wee is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on O'Hagan.
The stopwatch doesn't lie, and the shrinking gap is telling a tale of the hunter closing in on its prize.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Look at Mike trying to close the gap on roll postma. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party. Shoot, Rob, you ever seen a hound chase a rabbit? That's Mike for ya, trying to close in on Roel Postma with every twist and turn of Fuji Speedway GP.
Fair dinkum. Mike's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter.
Dang, Mike's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Roel Postma like a hound on a hot dog.
It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Eddie G can catch some shade behind Megasaurus 55? F?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit. In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who'll make the next move?
O'Hagan seems to be putting the pressure on Roel Postma.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
It would seem Megasaurus 55 is starting to get a bit frustrated here at being held up by Eddie G.
Maybe some fatigue or frustration is setting in, but yeah, Megasaurus 55 isn't going to improve their chances by overcooking it.
Roel Postma wants to get into Mike O'Hagan's slipstream. Whoa. Roel Postma's on fire, leaving skid marks and Mike O'Hagan's hopes behind.
Absolutely, Rob, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Roel Postma can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Roel Postma acquaints themselves with a new perspective at third.
Races are full of ups and downs, kinda like my Aunt Patty's porch swing. Roel Postma will bounce back, no doubt about it.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Mate, Roel Postma's slower than a wet week. They better buck up or Mike's gonna have them for brekkie.
Well, Roel Postma's got their britches in a twist. Mike is riding the gravy train with biscuit wheels, I tell ya.
It's an intense battle for position as Megasaurus 55 tries to outmaneuver Eddie G. This is edge of your seat racing.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Megasaurus 55 looked like overtaking, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Oh, the pressure is on for Megasaurus 55. Trapped between 0.1 seconds away and Eddie G just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds, they must defend their position while seeking an opportunity to advance. The gap might be more than a second, but Roel Postma is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give.
I agree. Roel Postma is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
It's all about consistency for Sunoiler, who is currently first. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Sunoiler is in the lead, but Mike is closing in and the gap is now 1.4 seconds. Wow, Sunoiler is real. The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Sunoiler. What a drive from Mike, securing a great second place finish.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second place finish.
Well done to Roll Postma for securing third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
With Smells Like We in fourth. Eddie G take fifth. Megasaurus 55 and in sixth. Our race venue today brings us to the Far East. Japan hosts some truly amazing circuits, and I know that our drivers always relish the opportunity to visit Fuji Speedway GP in particular. I can see they're ready, so let's get this race underway. Starting in pole position gives Megasaurus 55 a clear advantage over the rest of the field.
But they can't count their chickens before they hatch. There is a long way to go.
Lining up in second is Eddie G.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
Smells like we is holding down the fort in third place.
The English driver will be focused on a good result from here.
Watch out for Roel Postma, starting from the fourth grid position in today's race.
Roel Postma is looking on for a strong result.
Mike O'Hagan is fifth. Sunoiler is lining up sixth.
Mike O'Hagan isn't going to make it easy to get through the pack.
Green's up, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Let's see which legend can jump ahead and give it a whirl.
Concentration is crucial as they navigate through the pack and try to establish a strong position. The best drivers know how to find their rhythm quickly.
I can't wait to see how this race will play out. The third position belongs to Sunoiler.
Another good start for the German driver.
As fast as a cut snake, Megasaurus 55 is moving away from Eddie G.
Seems like Megasaurus 55 has got the wind in their sails, but will Eddie G be able to weather the storm?
Fair dinkum, Megasaurus 55's dropping like a cold pie and Eddie's snatching the top shelf Tim Tams.
Feels like Eddie G brought their barbecue A game, while Megasaurus 55's grill's gone cold. Absolutely, they need to rethink their approach and come up with something new, or they risk losing even more ground. On the other hand, Eddie G has been making some impressive moves and looks like a serious contender.
Seems like Roel Postma is getting in range of Megasaurus 55.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
And Roll Postma has just won the place from Megasaurus 55. Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
Coming into Dunlop Corner, the fight for third is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? Now that's how it's done. Sunoiler rips through the track, while Smells Like We watches the tail lights fade. This is what it's all about, folks. Mike is in hot pursuit of Eddie G, who's just trying to stay ahead. As they speed through start-finish straight, Sunoiler is relentlessly pursuing Mike O'Hagan in a high-stakes battle for position.
If Sunoiler gets any closer to Mike, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
It's looking good for Sunoiler, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Mike O'Hagan. A twist in our tale. Sunoiler's slipping more than a bar of soap in a bath, now at third.
That's got to be frustrating. But Sunoiler is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
Oi, Smells Like We, if you wanted a tour of Sunoiler's rear bumper, you've got a front row seat. Better make your move before the show's over.
Smells Like We is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Sunoiler makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to fourth.
Whoa there, Mike is sticking to Eddie G like glue. You reckon Eddie's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. A great moment for Mike, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Wow, Smells Like We is really pushing hard to catch up to Sunoiler. There's blood in the water for fourth place.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
Hang on, has Smells Like We just played their wild card? They're lounging at sixth now. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
A setback for Eddie G, who has just been passed. Tactics are clearly going to play an important part in this race.
They are gonna need to look after their tires and will want to keep something in them for the crucial latter stages, as their tires wear and fuel levels deplete and the handling changes.
And don't forget the track grip increases as more rubber gets laid down.
Indeed, the conditions are constantly changing and the drivers need to adapt, otherwise it can cost crucial time and jeopardize their position.
Oh, this is getting intense. Sunoiler is just behind Roll Postma. Blimey, Eddie's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burnt.
Hot diggity. If Eddie G had a banjo, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly.
Absolutely, Rob. The slipstream plays a crucial role in these battles. The drivers are using every trick in the book to gain an advantage while constantly evaluating when to make their move.
Alright, hold your horses. Smells Like We is really putting the heat on Sunoiler. If I was Sunoiler, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Smells Like We to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
Oh my, Sunoiler is hot on the tail of Megasaurus 55. As they come into Panasonic Corner, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside.
Rob, last time I saw Sunoiler this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
Get ready, folks. With Smells Like We tailing this close to Megasaurus 55, start-finish straight is about to become a hotspot.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Smells Like We or Megasaurus 55? This is high-stakes racing.
It's like David versus Goliath out there. Smells Like We just slung a stone and gained ground, while Megasaurus 55 is left searching for footing. Big gains for Smells Like We as they move up the field, leaving Megasaurus 55 behind.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
Blimey, Megasaurus 55's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter.
Oh no, what's this? Well, Megasaurus 55's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them. With every twist and turn, Smells Like We is shadowing Sunoiler, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Eddie G zeroes in on Megasaurus 55, blade sharpened and ready.
The tension between Eddie G and Megasaurus 55 is palpable as they battle for P5. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Smells Like We is dancing closer and closer to Sunoiler. You can feel the tension as they approach Deitch. Hold on to your hats. Eddie G is gunning for Megasaurus 55. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Strike a light. Eddie G is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Megasaurus 55, did that sting a bit?
Giddy up, looks like Eddie's kicking the dust up. Megasaurus 55 better buckle up and respond.
Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Smells Like We's not letting Sunoiler have all the fairy bread at this party. Watch out, Sunoiler, he's coming for your Tim Tams, mate.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Smells Like We needs to stay patient and wait for Sunoiler to make a mistake.
Remember when we thought Smells Like We had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Sunoiler's mirrors awfully busy. This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Ha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Now, that's what I'm talking about. Eddie G is proper nipping at Megasaurus 55's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Eddie G gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
No room for error here. Smells Like We is breathing down the neck of Sunoiler, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Smells Like We must be laser focused on Sunoiler's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
An impressive showing from Smells Like We, who has gained positions and left Sunoiler in the dust. It's a game of inches now as Sunoiler tails Smells Like We closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Sunoiler gaining places and Smells Like We losing them. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Eddie G is razor thin as they vie for fifth in this nail-biting contest. It's a thrilling pursuit as Sunoiler is right behind Smells Like We, keeping the pressure on for third place. We got a close battle as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Eddie G. It's not coming up roses for Megasaurus 55, they're trailing Eddie G and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Bloody hell, Megasaurus 55's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 5th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration? Hold on to your hats, folks. Eddie G is right on the heels of Megasaurus 55, and we're in for a wild ride.
If Eddie G isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
What a tight spot for Eddie G. They have right on their tail 0.1 seconds away, and Megasaurus 55 just inches away with a gap of 0.2 seconds. It's a true test of their racecraft.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are crucial pieces of information for Eddie's race strategy. It's a delicate dance, and they must remain vigilant.
The action is non-stop. Braking alert. Looks like Sunoiler's playing in the dirt. Took me back to when I tried rallying in my mum's old sedan. Good times, expensive repairs. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Incredible. Megasaurus 55 is caught in a fierce battle, with breathing down their neck 0.1 seconds away, and Eddie G just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. It's a test of their racing skills. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Honestly, Rob, with this chase, I'm half expecting to see some sneaky dive bombs in the next few laps. Popcorn ready?
Blimey, Megasaurus 55 is closing in on Eddie G like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up start-finish straight. The battle is on for Megasaurus 55. They're sandwiched between two rivals, 0.1 seconds away and Eddie G 0.2 seconds ahead. It's a true test of their racecraft. Eddie G is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
By crikey, Eddie's lap time is like a cold beer on a hot day, absolutely smashing. Megasaurus 55, you need a moment to recover?
Well, I'll be. Eddie's burning rubber like they're late for a hoedown. Megasaurus 55's got their work cut out for them.
Smells Like We is placed third at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Sunoiler, who is 1.7 seconds behind.
It's like Smells Like We's out on the open highway and Sunoiler's still getting directions at the last gas station. Got a bit of catching up to do.
Impressive driving from Smells Like We, who has managed to extend their lead over Sunoiler. They are walking away at this point. Does Sunoiler have anything in reserve? Or are they saving their car for a final push?
Well, Rob, it's like they say, slow and steady wins the race. But in this case, it seems like slow and steady might just be too slow. Will Sunoiler be able to find that extra gear and catch up to Smells Like We? Or will they end up saving their car for nothing and run out of gas at the finish line? Agreed Rob, superb driving there. If they keep this up, this race should be a real thrill ride.
As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right. And with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight. But instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Eddie's shadowing Megasaurus 55, waiting for the slightest misstep. The G-forces these drivers endure, especially around corners like start-finish straight, it's no joke. You'd think they're astronauts preparing for launch.
Oh, for sure. It's a testament to their fitness and training regimes. Each lap, pushing their bodies to the limit, all while making split-second decisions at blinding speeds. Respect.
Cricky, Eddie's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate.
Yeehaw. It's like Eddie G took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
You reckon Roll Postma saw a spider in the cockpit? 'Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
Dang. Roel Postma is so far back, they're in a different time zone. Hope they remember it's race day, not laundry day.
Who needs speed dating when you've got Eddie G chasing down Megasaurus 55 this eagerly? Move over Tinder. This is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour. Bloody ripper. Eddie's just made Megasaurus 55 look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
Well, butter me up and call me a biscuit. Eddie G is putting the pedal to the metal, making Megasaurus 55 eat some serious dust.
SMP Racing BR03. The chase music's playing in Eddie's head as they reel in Megasaurus 55, moment by nail-biting moment.
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Eddie's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
The gap between Smells Like We and Sunoiler may be wide, but that doesn't mean Smells Like We is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Crikey, Smells Like We's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Sunoiler is now just 1.6 seconds behind.
If Smells Like We wants to keep their lead, they're going to need to drive like they've got a gator on their tail.
Tell ya what, Eddie's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55. Hope Megasaurus 55 brought the aeroguard, cause is about to get bitten. Crikey, Eddie G is losing touch with Megasaurus 55 quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. It looks like Roll Postma is pushing hard to catch up to Mike O'Hagan. The gap is over a second, but Roll Postma is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Mike O'Hagan?
Watching Roel Postma right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
Gee whiz, Roll Postma's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
That's a great effort from Roel Postma. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
The race is heating up as Eddie G in 6th closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Eddie G is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Megasaurus 55 to 0.6 seconds. As we come into the final moments of this epic race, Mike O'Hagan is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon? The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Mike, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books.
You can see the sheer determination on Mike's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
What a fantastic race from Roel Postma, who brings it home in second place.
Brilliant. Roel Postma showed great skill and determination to take second place.
What a race from Smells Like Weed. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Sunoiler brings home fourth. In fifth, it's Megasaurus 55, followed by Eddie G in sixth.